Alright, here's a little video to show you what I've done so far. It's a little bit easier than trying to write it all out and explain it, and that way you can see it, and if it works for you, then I can go ahead and I will update the Access database that you have over at the Horizon stage. So anyways, you gave me 8 things to look at, and so let's just go through each one. Number 1, it says volunteers are assigned position. Currently, seat numbers are automatically assigned to the position. This needs to be changed so the seat numbers are assigned manually. So if we go over here to the edit show, you can see that we have a column for the seat, and so you can put in whatever you want there. You know, that's up to you, whatever you want. Now, all right. So I did that on purpose because you'll see that it says you cannot add or change a record because a related record is required in the table Starlighter's positions. And what that means is that before I do anything else in one of these, I have to put in the position first. I can't really do anything else until I put in that position. Now I can start to add other things. And that's just by design, by the database, the way the database is. That's the way that it works. I don't know if that's a big deal breaker for you guys. I never did that. It was like that before. So just so that you know that's why that came up and squawked like that. Alright, so there's your seat. That's a sign. And basically, if we go now and look at the report, you'll see that it's here, that basically it showed it right here. Seat 12 is the seat. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's look at the next one. Volunteers are assigned fire safety responsibilities, FSR roles. This information is currently not in the database. This needs to be able to be entered into the database, and the FSR should be assigned manually and appear on the roster. Okay. So if we go into show information, edit here, you'll see now we do have the opportunity to add a fire safety role or a fire safety responsibility. Alright, and that basically goes in right there, and again it will show on the roster. If we go here and let's go look at that one, you can see that it's right here. It's basically on the roster there. Okay. Alright, the next one is volunteer information includes the home phone number. However, the field only allowed for 7 digits. It needs to be 10. So let's go have a look at that. Volunteer information, view. You can see now that you now have 10 digits. And I also updated everybody's phone number in the database, or I will, with a query to put that 780 in front of it. Alright? So that's that one. All fields require date inputs, and that should be changed so everybody uses the same format. And if we go to volunteer information again, what I did here is whenever you click on that field, it's going to give you this little calendar control, and basically you would put in whatever date and it would automatically put it in the correct format. And also for the birthdays, I did the same thing. Unfortunately, the birthdays in the database are mostly just dates, like August 5th or something like that. And so when I ran the query to update the date, it automatically put in a random date, usually 2014, although there's some where they install, like this one here, says 2029. So either I won't update that particular date, that field, or someone's going to need to go through and change the years or whatever. So you might want to basically advise me on that one before I go ahead and update that in your current database. Okay, so currently when scheduling a shift, this is number 5. Currently when scheduling a shift, a volunteer for a shift, the shift time is automatically calculated to be 1 hour prior to the show start time. This needs to be changed so it's manually entered. How that was happening before was basically in the report. When the report was run, it would automatically calculate the date based on your start time or based on the show time. And so it took the show time and added an hour, and that's what it automatically put into the report. Okay, so if we go to the show information, edit, you'll see that the start time is in here, and we can go ahead and we can put in a start time of whatever you want in there, and that will also show up on the roster. Boom, it's this one here, show up as a start time on the roster. Alright, okay, return to main menu. Number 6 is the database should prevent volunteers from being assigned the same shift during a show more than once. A pop-up should appear saying that volunteers already assigned. Again, we'll go to show information, and let's go here, and we're going to try to add Bernice again, Bernice Halliday. So we go here, we choose Bernice, and it comes up and squawks and says Bernice is already assigned to this show. Chris Hillman, please choose another volunteer. Okay, and then it deletes that and forces you to put in somebody else. Okay, so hopefully that'll work. Number 7, the roster cannot print unless all the volunteer positions are assigned. The current workaround was to create a volunteer called TBA. This one took me a little while to make this one work, but we're there. So if we go here, the last one that I'm actually been working on, I hadn't assigned anybody yet. So there it is. It's blank with just the position and the other stuff that I put in. Okay, so that's working. Number 8, when a volunteer has a ProServe certification, this information needs to appear on the roster report. Currently, this information is recorded the volunteer's last name. This information to be recorded in its own field and the additional field for expiry date, certification expiry date. So if we go to the volunteer information, you'll see that you've got the ProServe certificate checkbox and the expiry date to put in. So what I did was anybody that had ProServe by their last name, I went through the database and updated this so that this ProServe would be checked off, and I also removed the word ProServe from their last name. So you'll see that here's someone that has this checked off and it's not there anymore. Basically took that ProServe thing away from their last name. And so if you want to add the expiry date for their ProServe certification, you'll have to go and add that. Someone's going to have to go and put that in because that information was in the database. So basically that's all the stuff that was on the list for me. Let me know, Cindy, if that works for you. If so, I can go over and update it this week sometime. It would be good if I updated all this in 2013, so it would be good if they had a copy of 2013 over there. If they can't, let me know, and I will test this and see if it works in 2007. So anyways, let me know.